In the wild, untamed heart of the Scottish Highlands, where jagged peaks pierce the sky and mist clings to glens like a shroud, the silence is a fragile thing. The rush of waterfalls, the distant cry of a stag, or the whisper of wind through heather can shatter it. But in places like Glencoe, locals speak of a sound far more haunting: the eerie, disembodied wail of the Caoineag, Scotland's legendary weeper. This spectral mourner, known in Gaelic as Caoineag, is a spirit of sorrow. Her keening cry rising from lochs, streams, and waterfalls in the dead of night, a chilling prophecy of death. Rooted in centuries of Highland folklore, the Caoineag is not seen, only heard. Her invisible presence, a mournful herald of tragedy that binds Scotland's past to its present in a single, sorrowful note. The Caoineag is a unique figure in Scottish folklore, distinct yet akin to the Irish banshee. While the banshee may appear as a woman or wraith, the Caoineag remains forever unseen, her form cloaked in mystery. Her name derives from the Gaelic coin, meaning to weep or lament. And her cry is her essence, a high-pitched, keening wail that carries the weight of unbearable grief. It echoes through the Highlands, often near water, where the boundaries between worlds are thin: cascading falls, mist-covered lochs, or rushing streams. This liminal presence marks her as neither fully of the living nor the dead, but a threshold being, a voice of sorrow that transcends time. Unlike malevolent spirits, the Caoineag is not cruel, but her purpose is no less chilling. Her wail foretells death, often within days or hours, striking fear into those who hear it. "She doesnae wail for sport," says Claire Fraser, a folklore scholar at the University of Inverness. The Caoineag is part of a much older tradition of Highland prophecy, where grief itself becomes a force of nature. Her weeping is a mourning before the loss, visceral and ancestral. She is associated with women who died in childbirth, through violent grief, or in tragic circumstances, their unspent sorrow transforming them into eternal mourners. Her cry is not a warning to change fate, but a recognition that fate is already in motion, an echo of Highland fatalism. The Caoineag's connection to water suggests a deeper symbolism. In Celtic cosmology, water was a gateway to the other world, a place of spirits and the dead. Her wails, rising from falls or lochs, mark her as a guardian of this boundary, her voice a bridge between realms. Highland funerary traditions reinforce this link. Keening, the ritualistic mourning with high-pitched cries, was once a sacred act performed by women at funerals, a practice the Caoineag seems to perpetuate as a supernatural echo. "She's a voice for what cannot be stopped," Fraser explains. Her wail carries the grief of the clan, the land, and the lost, binding them in a single lament. One of the most haunting tales of the Caoineag is tied to the infamous massacre of Glencoe in 1692, a betrayal that scarred the Highlands. In the days leading up to February 13th, when British troops, hosted under the guise of hospitality, murdered 38 members of Clan MacDonald, locals reported a chilling sound. For 3 nights, a wail echoed through Glencoe's glen, rising from the falls of Quar Gabhail and the banks of Loch Actriocton. It was no human cry, but a keening that seemed to tear at the heart, like the grief of 100 mothers, as one survivor later recalled. Those who heeded the Caoineag's warning, fleeing into the snow-covered hills, escaped the slaughter. Those who stayed, trusting their guests, perished. The MacDonald oral tradition holds that the Caoineag was mourning the clan's impending doom, her cry a prophecy of betrayal. Elders passed down the tale, warning that her wail is a call to listen, not to fight fate. "She kenned the blood was coming," says Alistair MacNeil, a Glencoe shepherd whose family traces its roots to the massacre's survivors. My great-grandmam said the Caoineag saved her kin. You don't question her, you run. The story cemented the Caoineag's place in Glencoe's lore, her lament a haunting reminder of trust broken and lives lost. A more recent tale from 2018 underscores her enduring presence. Near Loch Atreocton, hikers reported a piercing cry one foggy night, described as a woman sobbing, but no one was there. 3 days later, a landslide struck the area, injuring 2 walkers and destroying a footpath. Locals, unsurprised, attributed the disaster to the Caoineag's warning. She was heard again, up by the falls, McNeil says. We kenned something ill was on its way. Such incidents, though dismissed by skeptics as coincidence, keep the Caoineag's legend alive, her wail a thread connecting past tragedies to present perils. The Caoineag's enduring presence reflects the Highlands' deep-rooted traditions of prophecy and mourning. In the clan-based society of medieval Scotland, where loyalty and survival were paramount, omens were taken seriously. The Caoineag, as a death herald, fit into a broader tapestry of seers and second sight, where certain individuals or spirits could glimpse the future. Her association with water tied her to Celtic beliefs in the otherworld, while her keening echoed the real-life role of women as mourners, whose ritual laments honored the dead and guided their souls. The Caoineag also embodies the Highlands' fatalistic worldview. Unlike modern narratives that emphasize overcoming fate, Highland folklore often accepted death as inevitable, with spirits like the Caoineag serving as guides through grief rather than saviors from it. She's not here to change what's coming, Fraser notes. She's here to prepare you, to make you face it with dignity. This perspective was especially poignant in a region marked by hardship, clan feuds, harsh winters, and historical traumas like the Jacobite risings and the Glencoe massacre. The Caoineag became a symbol of collective sorrow, her wail a voice for the clan's shared losses. Her invisibility adds to her mystique. Unlike banshees who might appear as women or hags, the Caoineag's unseen nature makes her more elemental, a force of nature rather than a figure to confront. This intangibility aligns with Highland beliefs in the unseen world, spirits, fairies, and omens that shaped daily life. Her presence near water, a sacred element, reinforced her role as a liminal being. Her cry a bridge between the living and the dead. Unlike other spirits, the Caoineag cannot be bargained with, banished, or appeased. Her wail is final, her purpose unyielding. Highland folklore offers no charms or rituals to silence her, only the advice to listen and act. If you hear the Caoineag, you move, McNeil says. Stay, and you're tempting fate. Some tales suggest her cries tied to specific clans, particularly those with ancient ties to the land, like the MacDonalds. But modern accounts show her warning outsiders too, as in the 2018 landslide. Her impartiality underscores her role as a universal mourner, grieving for all who face death in her domain. In older traditions, those who heard her might prepare for loss, gathering family, settling disputes, or seeking a priest's blessing. But the Caoineag's prophecy was not to be questioned or defied. Attempts to confront her, as in one tale of a bold MacDonald warrior who shouted into the night, often ended in misfortune. The warrior found dead by a stream the next day. She's not a spirit you challenge, Fraser warns. She's grief itself, and grief doesn't negotiate. The Caoineag remains a haunting presence in the Highlands, her legend sustained by oral tradition and modern storytelling. Glencoe, a magnet for tourists drawn to its dramatic landscapes and tragic history, hosts guided tours that recount her tale, often near the falls where her wail was heard. Local pubs share stories of recent sightings or hearings, blending folklore with contemporary events like landslides or accidents. The University of Inverness archives her legend in its folklore collection, preserving oral histories from clans like the MacDonalds. In literature and media, the Caoineag inspires ghostly figures, though she rarely appears by name. Her influence is felt in Scottish ghost stories, where keening spirits herald death, and in films like The Wicker Man, 1973, which evoke the Highlands' eerie mysticism. Modern paranormal investigators visit Glencoe with audio equipment, hoping to capture her wail, though most return with only silence. She doesn't perform for outsiders, Fraser says. Her cry is for those who belong to the land. Tourism has brought skepticism, with visitors dismissing the Caoineag as superstition, but locals remain steadfast. You can laugh about it in the city, McNeil says, but out here, if you hear her, you heed her. Some Highlanders still pause when passing waterfalls at night, listening for her cry, a habit born of respect and caution. Community festivals, like those in Ballachulish, include Caoineag tales, linking her to the region's heritage and ensuring her story endures. For Highlanders, the Caoineag is more than a legend. She's the voice of the land's sorrow, the echo of its losses. She's the wail in the night, the chill in the mist, the grief that lingers in Glencoe's glens. She's memory, prophecy, and mourning, bound to the waters and the clans that call this rugged place home. As moonlight dancers on lochs and waterfalls sing their endless song, the Caoineag waits, her invisible form ever watchful, ready to lament the next tragedy. So, the next time you wander the Highlands and hear a cry that isn't the wind, pause. It might be the Caoineag weeping for what's to come, her sorrow a reminder that even in beauty, death is never far away. Many thanks for treading this tale's dark path. If its chill gripped you, like, subscribe, and comment below.